everybody, and welcome to GenFriends. I'm your host, Cheri Hudson-Passy from Carolina Girl Genealogy, and we have some of our usual suspects with us tonight and a bunch of people that I'm so excited for you to meet and talk to. We have got trying to gather together there goes Mary. Mary's here too. Trying to gather together team members to start our end of season reunion, which we like to try to do. So let me first introduce Mary. You just popped in. I'll introduce you first. Mary Kircher Roddy from MKR Genealogy, coming to us live from her sister's house after a wedding. She just
Yes.
Hi, Mary.
Hello from Healdsburg, California.
All right, we're glad you're here. We have got Shelley Murphy, who is our family tree girl, and she is coming from her house in Virginia.
In Central Virginia, just outside of Charlottesville. Hello, everybody. Glad to be here.
Glad you're here too. We have got Melissa Barker, the archive lady. Hi, Melissa.
Hello, everybody. I'm coming to you from Tennessee Ridge, Tennessee. We're in Middle Tennessee.
In the archives, right there.
In the archives, yeah. This is a picture of my archives where I work, although I'm at home tonight.
And we've got Laura Hedgecock, our new mother-in-law. She just had her son get married. So we're so happy for her that she's returned home safely from the wedding. And we're so glad that you're here, Laura.
Hi, and greetings from Farmington Hills, Michigan.
So good to have everybody here. Oh my goodness, Relative Race fans, we have got a treat for you. Look at your screen. We have got Thaddeus, we have got Karen, we have got Nolin, we have got Leah, we have got Kentrelle, and we're hoping maybe some other people might pop in and come talk to us tonight. So we're so excited to have you on. I didn't miss anybody, did I? I think I got everybody. Welcome. I think this is the most fun thing we do as we at GenFriends watch the show and talk about it each season, is to have the team reunion at the end. So we're so excited that you're all here. Welcome. Yay. Who's got the first question? I know you guys. Somebody has got a question that they're just dying. Oh, Laura, I knew it.
So her, Mary.
So when's the last time all of y'all have had a chance to talk to each other?
Like we're texting right now to see if
so maybe like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Like right now.
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
you're always talking with each other throughout the months, and especially the season that as things were viewed?
Yeah. At least once a week.
No, I know that there's a lot of things that were recorded and shown during the season that y'all didn't know was happening with the other teams. So what was the most surprising thing that you saw happen to another team that you didn't know about until you watched the show?
I think one moment for me, well, I had the idea in my head that especially like during the Zoom calls at the end, that Tia probably didn't necessarily meet she probably had to run into a lot of deceased family members, but to hear her say it and have that realization on the show was very much a surprise to me. Very surreal moment.
Yeah. She was her story was beautiful, and I loved her being able to meet her sister and being able to the ashes was so touching. Able to, that was a beautiful moment. I thought that was wonderful. Anybody else have a surprise as they watched?
Not a surprise.
I think I just wish we didn't know fully what was going on with the other teams, and it would have been so fun to call them at night even and be like, I get what you're going through, we're supporting you. We did know what was going on, but we're also fully absorbed in what we're learning, and so you can't know everything. And so
well, that's a hint. You know that Relative Race producers listen to us, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Sure. So, okay, do you hear that? They need to be able to talk to each other after that.
Well, I think we would have been allowed to. We just didn't. Your days,
Yes.
Your days are just full.
So I have a question.
Yeah, Shelley.
When did the show end, and then we start seeing it on TV. So what was your the lag time for you guys to the show? You know, how was it months or how much? What was the time frame?
Honestly, we started filming everything back in September. We did the backstory in September, like a weekend filming, and then the initial filming started in October, the beginning of October, like 2 weeks in October. Then after that, we would like come back together with your producers or a producer that was available every month until, I don't know for you guys, but for us, it was like until February. So it's a long process.
So you mean filming all the little commercial kind of things and the little those kind of get to know you type things for promotional things. Right. Because the 10 days is the 10 days as far as the show goes.
Yeah, we see the 10 days, of course, only. So if you finished in February, then we start seeing it, what, April? May?
Yeah.
April and May? Okay. So not too much.
Not too much, no.
But your day 10 was when, in October?
Yeah, it was the first 2 weeks of October that we were gone.
Okay.
So I had a question about that. I mean, is day 10 really day 10, or is there a break between day 9 so they can get you all there?
No, day 10 is day 10.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but we did have a break in between, a little secret. We did have a break to just regroup.
It's okay, it's just us. It's all right.
Well, it could be different every season, but we all had to fly back into one location.
Oh, right.
Except Team Red.
Except for us.
Except for Team Red, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I also want to say, I love you all, but Karen, I am so impressed because you can see we're kind of a bunch of
hey,
old ladies.
Use your words.
Old lady power. Old, but old lady power.
I'm sorry, what was your question? I mean, for me, it was great. And being the oldest contestant ever to compete on the show was unbelievable. I loved it. You know, I loved everyone that we had the opportunity to meet, but I had to keep up with those youngsters. I'm like, wait a minute.
You had to.
I'm like, they cannot outdo me. They cannot run faster than I am. I can. I looked at Leah and Nolin and John and Kentrelle, and you could see that they actually worked out.
So you represented us well. Kudos. You represented us well.
Yeah. And there were so many firsts on this season. You know, you being the oldest contestant on there. But you did so well. And being the adoptive mom. I mean, that was the first time we've had that. And Leah being
that's the first time.
Yeah, this adopted sibling, and there were just so many firsts on this show. There's a lot of ties that hadn't happened before, and just so many firsts on this season that just made it even more fun because you never knew what was going to change and what was going to happen. So it was an amazing season, and we are so grateful that you would share some really heart-wrenching moments with us, you know, things that maybe a lot of people wouldn't want shown on television. And so we really applaud you for the guts, you know, that it took to do that, because I know each of your stories was so touching, and I know each of your stories helped someone else out there who's going through something similar. And so we really appreciate you doing that.
Well, I have a question. And this is a question I ask every time we have one of these every season. How did you get on Relative Race? Did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to them? We've heard both from different groups.
Well, Thaddeus is the one that actually found it for the red team.
So since I'm an actor, I go on these subscriptions for acting jobs, and it's Honestly, really weird on how I saw the ad. I've always been curious on finding my biological family. And then one night I was just alone in my room, just looking at the subscription, and I saw the first thing, and the question was, "Are you looking for your biological family?" And I'm like, God, like what is happening? Like what is going on? So I saw that and I said, okay, all right, let me think about it, let me pray about it, let me talk to me, myself, and I. Okay, we're gonna do it. Mom, let's do it.
I love that. Kentrelle, how did you find out about the show?
It was actually kind of random too. I was just scrolling on Instagram and saw an ad, and it said the same thing that Thaddeus said. Like, are you adopted? Are you looking for your family? And I'm like, how do you know I'm adopted? Like, I know they know what furniture I like. They know what kind of food I like. You know, I understand marketing, but like, where did this come from? So I just applied for it, and here we are. 2 months
That's
later.
good.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about you?
Yeah, so actually Leah told me about it. She had watched the previous seasons, and so when I brought up to my family how I wanted to do biological family, she told me about the show. And originally, I, I mean, I wasn't really wanting to just because like there's no way we're gonna get in. But then she was like, she convinced me like, "Ah, we might as well just apply, see what happens." And so one thing led to another, and here we are.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. But yeah,
Kentrelle, did you have somebody to that you wanted to be on the show with, and they paired you up with John, or did you just say, I don't really have anybody? How did that work out that you were paired with a stranger?
So ironically, I was trying to do it with my adoptive sister. Except she was my younger sister. She just graduated college at the time, and I thought she would want to, but the day of, she said she didn't. She said that she didn't. So I said, I'm not about to keep letting people hold me back. So I just applied on my own. And they said, well, you're pretty interesting, so we'll find someone to partner you with. And I said, okay, thanks. So I just waited until they found John, and here we are.
Yeah,
that's great.
You guys
I had a very similar question. I was wondering too, like, how did it go when you guys first met each other, and how long did it take to you? Because we see on the episodes, we see you guys getting closer to each other and more honest with your feelings and what's going on. So just kind of walk us through that a little bit. How did that take off for y'all?
So we shot the backstory late September. We hung out and slash filmed for about 2 days, and then the next day I saw them was the day before we started filming. So we talked a little bit here and there, and of course I'm the more outspoken one, so I texted John, John, let's talk here and there. We got to build a relationship or whatnot, and we did. But the foundation of our relationship kind of stemmed from actually being on the show, so which made it even more authentic for us.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could definitely understand where each other was coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see the relationship build all the way through, and the support that you gave.
Yeah.
So that was really.
And how is it, especially if you didn't have your family member with you, when John is meeting his father, I mean, do you just kind of back up a little and give him the limelight?
Absolutely. Of course, with me and John being different races and whatnot, it was kind of evident, who family member was what, but at the same time, it's like when you walk up to the house and you see, who I think it might be, you automatically kind of like adjust. Like, I'm about to be support, or oh my gosh, it's my turn.
The last season, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. You couldn't tell.
Last season, they walked up,
Yeah.
and the African American girl walked out, and she was the connection to the white person. And I thought, now that's more reality in my world. Don't know till you know.
it worked out for us, especially meeting John's dad. I was just like, if this isn't an
Yeah.
old person, if this isn't old John right here.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
The last brother that John met, that's a full sibling, not a half sibling, right? He looked just like Daddy and John.
Yeah.
No,
Y'all
that was
know-
actually
did they
half-
know?
I don't think he was a full sibling, but he sure looked
No.
like him.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, they
half
look just like their dad, both of them.
Mhm.
no, they share the same mom.
Same mom.
Okay.
Right. It was the same mom. But yeah, they looked, you could tell. You could
Those
tell.
are some expressive genes.
Well, I got another question for you guys. When you were on the race, and how surprised were you? Because I'm surprised every season. How surprised were you that people in their own towns did not know where anything was?
I was very surprised. I'm like, don't you live here? But okay.
Thaddeus,
But-
you knew more about where you were on some days than the people that lived in that town.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Yeah, I mean, just asking to get to the highway and nobody.
Nobody could tell you.
Yeah, it was
Crazy.
frustrating.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I have a question. Which was your favorite challenge?
Ooh.
I
tell you
love the balloon challenge.
Karen, this is why I'll never do it. Right there. Girl, you represented us so well.
So,
The balloon challenge was my
which one?
favorite. The balloon
Oh,
challenge.
the
I
balloon.
loved
That was
Yeah.
good. That was
that.
really
Was a lot
good.
of fun.
A lot of fun. Yeah, we want to
Yeah.
add that to the family reunion. We're always
Yeah,
saying
we've
we need
been throwing them in a
Right.
guide.
a.
I don't know. Leah's shaking her head no on that one. What was
Oh,
your
which-
favorite, Leah?
Which one was yours?
I mean, are we counting the day 1 and 10 or no?
Any of them?
Sure.
Day 1 was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
And I loved watching it because you, Blue and Red, you guys were hilarious. And Carolen was too. I loved your comments.
Was that the truck? The
Yeah.
small-
Oh, yes.
the car?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Oh gosh. Never
Oh.
gonna forget that challenge.
Personally,
Oh.
I
I
want to go to that theme
one.
park.
Oh, sorry. What'd you say, Laura?
I want to go to that theme park. Where
Oh,
was it?
on day 10, it was in Atlanta. You mean
No, it was
the,
in
No, the one with
Pennsylvania,
the
the first
day
oh, you
one.
mean the
with
first
the-
one. The first
Jersey.
one. Okay.
Jersey.
All righty. My
Yeah,
favorite
what-
challenge, I think, this year was the food.
Oh,
Oh.
No.
Yeah, if I could just hand you some black licorice, that is right now.
ugh,
Just
I
do
hate
it.
black licorice.
I was
Mm.
so mad, and watching it, I got even more mad because they had sweet potatoes, and we're over here with black licorice. I'm like, didn't we win like last the day before? Why is this a benefit for us?
I think it was probably the thought process was that because it was your mom's favorite, you would get it quickly. That's all I
I
could.
guess.
Oh, I thought that.
Well, I
was-
gotta see what I'm gonna eat, so I just got disqualified. So
you
no.
just got disqualified. Anybody
Yeah.
else have a favorite? And then I want to hear which one you hated the most. Anybody else have?
I think my favorite was the water challenge, only because I got to use the chopsticks.
Oh.
I'm a big sushi, so
So you know
I'm
you
so good
have
by
that
myself.
skill.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's
I
funny.
was a fan.
All right, the last
day one.
challenge.
Wait a minute. Nolan
Yeah,
was saying
Nolan.
something. Go ahead, Nolan.
Oh, I just said my favorite was day one, the
Yeah.
same as Leah's.
Yeah. So much fun.
That
I
was
don't know
fun.
where they come up with these crazy ideas.
I
Sometimes
don't either.
that's your
From
challenge.
people like us. We remember they have that going on, submitting challenges and
This
stuff.
is true. This is true.
Yeah.
And they do have people go and try them out. And
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
and some of them, I think when they have them, I think, did you not have anybody try this one out? Because nobody's getting it. And everybody was timing out on so many of them, which is
Yeah.
another first for this season, right?
Yeah,
So
that was
people-
first.
Yeah, so many people were timing out on it. Okay, which was your least favorite? Or just be frank, which one did you hate?
My least favorite
First.
was
The pyramid.
the Pharaoh's pyramid. Yeah.
Pyramid, that's what Kentrelle just said. Yeah.
Mm.
Anybody else? Is that everybody's?
That's probably across the board.
I know, like across the board. Across the board.
Yeah.
Was that the 3D puzzle one?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes.
Tetris in 3D or
Yeah,
whatever?
that did look
Yeah.
hard. And you're tired, and as
Mhm.
the days go on, you're more and more tired mentally, spiritually, physically, everything. You're just
Right.
tired. And then they throw this thing at you that you've got to think, it's got to be tough. As far as
So
go ahead,
the
Shelley.
last one, the last challenge.
Day
Mhm.
10. Day 10. Yeah.
I'd like to know thoughts on day 10.
On day 10. Yes.
Y'all looking too innocent. I mean, I think holding the water hose and all that would have been exciting, but some of that. But that seemed more physical to me than the
Mhm.
previous challenges.
It
Yeah.
was. And that
Okay.
challenge almost took us out.
Thank
It
you.
was really difficult.
I was so worried somebody was going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Not the dummies, the people.
We had
I
a
was so
dummy that got
worried.
hurt, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, and John, he
yeah,
passed
that's
out in the
true.
stairwell.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
The poor
he
guy.
did.
Did
He
anybody come
did.
and the way they filmed it, it didn't look like anybody came and really helped him, but maybe they did and they just cut it.
One of the
Kentrelle, did
producers, you could hear
anybody?
him say, well, "You need to." They wanted him to stop, and he said
Yeah,
no.
yeah, we could hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um,
that to me was more physically challenging because I'm gonna say something really stupid. It was real fire too, right?
Yes. Yes.
But you know what I mean? It's on TV and it was like, because I said a bad word, like, wait, that's real fire, And I thought, no way, that's all staged, But it was exciting, but it also gave a different look for your own experiences, and of course we're watching it, and sitting on the edge of our seat. But in one sense, that was a highlight, to firefighters too,
Mhm.
on what they do. And they, now y'all got a little inside look at some of that.
Mhm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I definitely have a newfound respect for firefighters after that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Day 10 was extremely physical. It was very hard. It was very hot. My mom said this earlier, green team, blue team, they were fit as I don't know what. And I'm over
Yes.
here shaped like a deep breath. So I'm just like, okay, this is a lot.
Kentrelle.
Yeah.
I love you
This is a
holding on to
lot.
that hose and laying on the
No,
ground.
when he went to the ground, hold that.
Hey, I'm going to stick up for Thaddeus now. I have seen some
Oh, he
coverage
was
on the
good.
news
Everybody
of
was
fire
good.
department people laying on the
Laying on the
ground with their
ground, yes.
hoses, and so he was
Right.
doing the right thing.
he channeled his inner firefighter.
And the man said that too. He said something about how he handled something. But
Mary,
looking at that, do y'all feel, this is another stupid question, but again, we know people are watching. We know people are thinking about applying, and things like that. But, and yes, you met family. That's the overall goal. Would you do it again if you had the opportunity? All right, Kentrelle. Because you can get us genealogists and we would have helped you too.
But no, I'm wondering if you really
you-
wanted to do it the first time.
Yeah, but what you went through, and it's not, to me, not the win. It was the
Yeah.
being able to make contact, reunite, this, that, and the
Oh,
other.
absolutely,
But
yeah.
that was the whole gist. This season, for me, I thought was more emotional than
Mhm.
past seasons.
Mhm.
And it was emotionally draining.
Mhm.
So we could feel someone's pain when they were experiencing pain, and everybody had a little bit of something going on. Plus, you also relate back to your own family if there's anything similar going on. But this season was really, it was emotionally challenging to watch. You know, even though I like the pairing up of the teams and stuff, but it was, and I know it had to be emotional for you guys as well. But would you do it over again, or is once enough?
It's once enough. Okay.
You know what I'm saying, as far as, because there's still more to learn.
Well, I guess what she's saying is, if you knew then what you know now, would you have done it this way or found another way?
I would have. I'm
For
so
sure.
grateful that Thaddeus asked me to go on the journey with him. The best experience ever. It was so amazing. His family, absolutely amazing. I would do it all over again in a heartbeat.
And so accepting of you, and it's so accepting of you as well, Karen. They were
Oh my gosh.
That
it
was
could
new.
have turned out better had we planned it ourselves. I mean, one of his aunts told me she couldn't accept him without accepting me.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
Yes. And they call me their sister. So I've gained
I
3 new
love
sisters.
that. That's so beautiful. And of course, you got to meet people too.
I did. And I was blown away. I mean, who knew that I had family that I hadn't met? So that was so totally awesome. It was.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And Mary, I know you were trying to ask a question a while ago.
Yeah. So I had a question just about, you know, you met the relatives that you met on the show. Did they have other relatives for you to meet, and kind of maybe almost pointed more at Team Green, because Leah, did they have relatives for you that just weren't shown on the show because it was about finding Nolin's family, or
Yeah, well, what happened is I did take my DNA and everything, but then soon, like right before we aired, a private investigator found Nolin's siblings for the first 2 days of the show. And so I think I would have met a distant relative, if they hadn't had done that. But obviously my producer, she's like, I knew you wouldn't be mad. We wanted him to meet those siblings.
Right.
And so, which is funny, because then when I got home, they're like, well, did you meet anybody? I think our mom asked, and I was like, that never even came across my mind that it might be my relative. And so, no, I didn't, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because he had so many for us to meet.
but have you met them since? I mean, did they give you the names of the people that you might have met? No.
I think they would have if they really had somebody narrowed down, but I don't think they narrowed it down to one person. But they gave me my DNA and everything, so.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Nolan
has popped out, so hopefully he'll
hopefully
come back in, or else you'll have to tell us all the secrets, right?
Yeah, I will.
You'll have to tell us everything. So well, let's talk a little bit about family.
I think Kentrelle was going to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Kentrelle. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I thought I heard you.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just listening.
Okay.
Well, then I have a question for you then, if you didn't have one. Was your feelings about meeting your biological family, did they take as much of an 180 as the show kind of? To us, it looked like you really changed a lot in your outlook of your biological family.
And that was to Kentrelle.
Yeah.
Oh, was it a complete 180? I wouldn't necessarily say that. I just think at that time, it was a lot of off-camera information that I had to find out as well. So with that influx of information all at one time, it was a lot. On top of everything else that you all have said. So it was just a lot of processing that I had to do off camera in order to be able to keep going. So
Sure.
Thank you for that. My heart went out to you because it's such a short timeline and so much, as you just said, to process and to prepare yourself for. So it was
I just wanted to go
curious.
get him and bring him home.
Yeah, we all did.
We all did.
We
That
all
mama
did.
instinct came in there and said, you know, this is enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
we
I said,
wait
it
for
was
that.
so emotional. Yeah. Yeah.
We wait for that smile control.
Yeah, we waited. We
Like,
waited.
okay, he's
We
gonna be
waited.
okay.
We waited. Yes.
He's gonna be okay, we said.
Yes.
I saw the tweets. I was like, oh, yeah,
Oh,
it was pretty interesting.
yeah. Well, you know, and viewers get so emotionally invested in the show that they a lot of them will say things in the groups that shouldn't be said, you know, and you just want to say, just calm down.
They're gonna be okay.
They're gonna be okay. Let people
Tate,
cross.
it's already done. The show is already over. We know.
And that, you know, you've had time to process and everything's going to be okay. So just, you know, just chill, people. So
Thaddeus, can I ask,
Watch
I'm gonna ask
the-
Thaddeus a question.
Okay.
How long did you sit in the car before you went into the hospital?
yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, we don't miss anything. How long?
So it was a mixture of things happening. So it was a good minute before we went into the hospital because one, they had to get clearance and make sure everything's good production wise. And then two, I was not ready. Like I really
could tell.
wasn't. Like the anxiety was kicking in. I knew where we were going even before we were there. I saw the signs. I'm like, I don't want to follow these signs. I really don't. And I don't know about you guys. For me, I absolutely hate hospitals.
I hate hospitals.
Don't like hospitals. They already give me anxiety on that level. So to know that one of my relatives is in there and it's my biological mother, yeah, I was having a whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all of us would at that point. So
yeah.
Again, just another.
Bye, Mary.
Bye, Mary.
Oh, bye, Mary. So, just to be brave enough to show us that, you know, is amazing for all of you to do that and show that vulnerability. And for Nolin, how many siblings?
Oh, mercy, Nolin.
That has to be that has to be a relative race record.
Yes.
Yeah, I had 11 siblings. So,
And the baby is a year old, the youngest.
yeah, he's a little over a year old now. Aaron.
Have you met him yet?
I have met him.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I met him on the show, just off camera.
Just off
Right.
camera.
Good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's small, probably couldn't get permission to film that. But yeah, it's amazing. It's so amazing. And I love the closeness that you have with the family you were raised with, your family, but you've got all this room for the biological family. It's just beautiful for all of you, as you all just you just all welcomed each other. For everybody, you just all welcomed each other, and the whole thing is just beautiful.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for a better experience.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah.
And
especially
another thing.
Yes. Go ahead.
John had about 12 siblings too, so I had to put that out there.
Yes. Yes. That family chart he got.
Yeah.
That was amazing with all those siblings. I wish he could have been able to join us tonight, but he had to work. So do you know, Kentrelle? Do you guys know if he's been able to meet any more of those siblings?
Not that I know of. Yeah. I don't think not that I know of.
Okay. I think
everyone is reachable or wants to be reached or things of that nature. Yeah. So
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes people just aren't ready, you know. And we can't force the issue, but at least he knows that they're there, and when they're ready, maybe they'll be able to connect. And so have all of you reached out and met anybody, gone back to meet anybody who and met other people in the consequence of going back to meet
who got the airplane tickets to go see
Red?
Red, yeah.
Red team.
Team
The
Red.
Have you
team
used
that
those
didn't
yet?
need to leave the
Didn't use
state to
them.
see their skeletons.
The team that didn't need them.
Everybody's in Baltimore.
Like
Georgia.
just like the food challenge with the licorice, we just I had plane tickets to find to meet the family that lives in Atlanta. So I really didn't need them. But I did use my half to visit back Baltimore, and we had a good little get together there.
Good.
Good.
Oh, good.
And that brother of yours that looks just like you, he is
Oh.
precious.
Oh, thank you.
He is.
Well, it's interesting because Nolan's your full brother, your only full brother, if I remember the dialogue.
Yeah.
You guys were looking like twins, just the same.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And I laughed so much
That
when he
was-
said, even our shoes are the same.
No, they were. That was crazy.
That was
Yeah,
great.
our looks, our mannerisms,
Yeah.
they're all so alike. It was awesome. It was weird to see, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that has to be so surreal when that happens.
It does.
yeah.
To see somebody that looks like you for the first time has got to be
Yeah.
the most.
Well, and
Yeah.
that acts
Emotional.
like you too. You know what I mean? It's like it
Mhm.
was like a clone or,
Like looking at a clone, yeah, for real.
or alternate
cool.
reality or something.
Yeah.
Like Nolan, I don't know about you, but for me and Jyrese, like even production, they were just so quiet. They were so in disbelief, and they're just staring while we're staring at each other. And it's
Yeah.
real quiet in the room.
Yeah, that's what it was. They just saw stares and exasperated faces. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Our parents and Nolan's fiance got to go meet him along with a lot of the other relatives we met.
Mhm.
And mom just kept texting me pictures of Nolan and Jaden and their leash. She's like, look, they walk the same. Look. It was funny.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
I'm glad you're being able to introduce
Yeah.
your newfound family with your
Yeah.
family. So I think that's
Yeah, it's
wonderful.
great.
Kentrelle, have you gone back
Yeah.
to people?
Oh, actually, into my phone off.
No, you're there.
There we go.
There you go.
Yes. I actually have 5 brothers, but I actually met one of them for the first time maybe last week or 2 weeks ago.
Ooh,
That was pretty interesting.
nice.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
great.
Well, five brothers and a sister. Let me not forget her.
Wow. Yeah, better not. You might get
Yeah.
right.
So where do you guys go from here now? Show's over.
Mm.
Met family. You're reconnecting and stuff. Where do you see this in 5 years?
Oh, good question,
Mm.
Shelley.
Put that doctor hat on, No, seriously, where do you see, because there's been the yearning for X amount of years growing up, or the questions and whatever. So you've got a lot. I'm not going to say everybody got all their questions answered or whatever, but where do you go from here, and where do you see your life in 5 years? You've got new family and old family and family, just where do you see yourself in 5 years based on this experience? Because you had new experiences too. I imagine there's new feelings that came out that you probably hadn't shared, came out before. But where do you see yourself? I'll go to Thaddeus first because you're right in straight line.
Okay. That was that I was not ready for, but okay. It was a good
Well, this
question.
is not password. You can't pass it. So
I guess for me, and I think I can speak on this end for everyone. We've been wanting this moment for all of our lives.
Mhm.
So I look at my journey as like a garden, oh my goodness, I want this, I want that, I want this, planning wise. So now I'm planting and I'm putting the seeds in. And for the show, now I'm seeing the stems coming out.
Mhm.
So it's just now over time, you're watering it, you're tending it. So with our relationships, we're just going to grow and grow into this beautiful thing called life and relationships and family. So I'm very excited for that. 5 years, it's going to be beautiful. We're going to have new family. We're going to have more family, and we're going to have more answers. So I'm ready for it.
Okay.
That's wonderful. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
Nolin,
Beautiful answer.
let's go to Nolin.
I see me and my fiance making a lot of trips down to Florida, spending a lot of times on the beach.
When's
That's
the
where most
wedding,
of my
Nolan? When's the wedding?
The wedding is July 21st.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
well, for your
So-
fans, you'll need to throw a couple of pictures up on the relevant
Yeah.
sites, just so everybody
Yeah.
will know. Yeah.
I definitely will. No, but actually, there's a lot of my family members coming to the wedding, so
Oh,
I'm
good.
super excited for that. I just can't wait for both my families now to meet.
Yeah.
And then for my fiance's family as well, and just everyone to come together. It's just a reunion, and so I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, in 5 years from now, I just see just a lot of growth in our relationships, and just a lot of traveling back and forth just to see each other and to just continue to grow those relationships. So I'm looking forward to it.
Love it.
And hopefully to Turks and Caicos.
Yes.
Yeah, Caicos as well.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Kentrelle.
The same thing as everyone else, just growth. Hopefully new relationships. And yeah, a newer me from the new relationships.
That's wonderful. Kentrelle, I have a question, but you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
And then I'll go back to Karen, then Leah too.
Yeah.
on this
Okay.
question.
Okay. I just, as a mom, an adoptive mom, I've got biological and adoptive kids. Are you doing better with your adoptive family now? Is there any more understanding of things that happened, or is there still kind of some things you're still trying to work out?
I think it's always going to be a working relationship, because I think it's something that has been broken for a long time. So yeah, we're working on it.
That's good.
But yeah,
that's good to hear. That's really good to hear. I always look at these things from both sides, because I'm like, oh, it's hard when you've got kids on both ends, and people will say which are which, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't remember, they're just all my children.
Right.
And so it would just hurt my heart, I think, to have that kind of struggle. Doesn't mean it will never happen, because there's all sorts of things that go on in life, but my hope is that those bridges will be built stronger because of the journey that you went on, and things will get better every day. So that's my hope for you, is that's what will happen. So thank you for answering that. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot.
If not, the door's open.
The doors are open, right? They're not
The door's
slammed shut.
open.
So thank you for answering that, and I'll continue to hope and pray that happens for you. And Shelley, you
Thank
wanted
you.
to? You're welcome.
Yes.
You
Miss
wanted to ask?
Karen.
Yeah.
And then Leah, what's your outlook after you've been through this experience, in your role as a mom, but also your role as a teammate, as well. Even though you're mom, you're also that team, because you guys did gel very well together on the communication, on the team stuff. Well, Thaddeus a little bit stronger. But that's okay.
Mom, come on, Mom.
Yeah, come on. And my favorite, when you were running, she might be old, but she can run. I lost it. So anyway, Karen, what do you see? You've got all this going on within your family, your child here, and so forth. What are you looking at from within 5 years?
In 5 years, I agree with that. I see relationships being built stronger. He got so many answers that he had been seeking, and I'm really happy for that. I love the way that they embraced him, his family. I love the way that they accepted me, and I only see those relationships getting stronger as the years go by. We spent time at Christmas time. They were here for the finale. So we got a chance to spend time together, and it was so beautiful. And honestly, I can't wait until we get that opportunity again. And even the family that I met, we've been communicating. So it's been, oh my gosh, it couldn't have been better. And so I'm just looking forward to things getting even better as time goes on.
Love it. Love it.
Wonderful. All right, Miss Leah.
Well, I like this year we get to host some of Nolan's family for the wedding, so that'll be fun. But just hopefully that continues. As he's getting married, we're kind of passing the torch off to him and his future wife. But I think that we met so much family, so it's just really fun to like watch my parents come in on this. And like, I mean, our mom and his biological mom talk all the time. And so I don't know. I just see it growing a lot, but also just like the show is just had like this season, even though there was a lot of hard, it's just like the fact that all these adopted people know their truth now, and whether it was hard or not, I just think that like it's a testament to like adoptive parents not to like hide that if that's what the child needs. And so I don't know, just I see a lot of conversations coming out from that, because even Kentrelle, your story has helped a lot of people. Like I can tell you, like it's hard, but people have reached out and like asked just how you are, and they can relate. And so as hard as it was to go through that, I think that, you know, the show is out there on air, and I think it'll continue to help people too.
I agree.
Great. Appreciate it. Y'all all have new legacies to pass down wherever it gets passed.
Exactly.
Your whole experience and stuff. And that's another beauty thing, because when I first saw Nolin, I had just received a DNA connection of a cousin who had just passed in December, and it was his grandson. And of course, I'm not 100% a DNA person, but I knew a grandson had to be one of his children's kids, and he only had a daughter. The kid looks like you, Nolin. He was adopted by a white family and raised. I found him on Facebook, and all this was happening at the same time. And then he asked me this question. He said, my mother's name, this because at first I didn't know who it was. And then he said, well, my mother's name was on the birth certificate. And so I just quietly, while you were going through your emotions, I'm sitting there and I look, I'm not going to lie to this kid. I know who that is. You know, but it wasn't my.
You were learning, you were learning.
Yeah, to say a bunch of things. So I just, you know, how do you tap into a genealogist that knows the family, you know what I mean, to find a DNA connection. But anyway, so I did what I felt was the best thing and the right thing to do. Number one, as a family member, and two, as a genealogist. And I'm saying this for other folks that are coming across there, because some things were not my place to say anything or to do. Now, if I won't lie or anything. And if he wants to know about that line, I know that line. But as far as
I think whether
and all of that, that's their thing. I will take him back to wherever, you know, he needs to go on the line. But that'll be between the two of them. And I just said, that's there. I will take you this place, you know, and stuff. So I didn't want to interfere, you know, and stuff.
I think it's important that we get to a place where for the most of us, we're all just trying to do the best we can.
Yeah.
I agree, Cheri. I agree.
Out of love and just doing the best we can, because you do the things that you do out of love for your children, and you try to do the best. Sometimes it ends up, you look back and you think, well, maybe I should have done it this way, or maybe I should have done it this way. But and when you're in that moment, you're just doing the best you know how to do to show love to your child. And it's like, and said on the show, it's all about family and it's all about love. So and that's
and
what
it's timing, as in Thaddeus or Kentrelle. It's timing too. And I think one of you guys, you know, just like when you sat in a car, you know, he's got that woman's name.
Yeah. Thaddeus, I'm going to ask you one quick question about sitting in about being at that hospital. Did they move her and put her in that hospital, or was she in that hospital the whole time and you were just living around the corner?
I was living around the corner from everyone.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? That just
so I found a lot of details. So she was at the hospital for that whole time. My brother, the youngest, Isaiah, he works at an amusement park. And actually, when I moved down here, I had a whole interview and I actually got the job at the amusement park. I just turned it down. I turned it down because I'm like, standing outside in the heat, that's a lot. So I turned it down. And then I had another interview where my cousin would have been interviewing me. So I was literally in the middle of everything.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's those ancestors watching out for you.
Yes.
You know, and people, I always think you're not ready for when your body or mental state or whatever is ready, then you can receive. You know, it's like a preacher, but anyway, you know, and I'm definitely not a preacher.
So I want to congratulate Team Red for their
win.
You guys all did so great. You all did so great, and you
with
were
Nolin in the red shirt on
again. You guys were tied. Who does that?
Yeah.
On day 10. And it was just those extra points that came in that put you over the top. So that was fabulous. So congratulations on your win. We've kept you a long time, and we're sorry that Carolen, for some reason, was having technical difficulties and didn't get to pop in. And I really miss being able to talk to her and hear how she's doing and see if she could give us any word on how Tia's doing. So we feel bad that we didn't get to talk to her. But before we go, I would like for each of you just to say, just leave us with one thing about your journey, just one thing that stands out that you would like to leave us with, and maybe encourage someone else to do this, something positive that helped you. And whoever wants to start can start. Nolin, do you want to go first?
Sure. So the first word that comes to my mind is revealing. Obviously, you're finding family that you never knew about or never met, but also revealing just the work that, and just the work that's done in your life from that experience. I know for me, it did things for me that I didn't know I needed.
Yes.
It was some closure that I didn't know I needed, and just it just brought new perspective in my life, and just about adoption. And so I just want to encourage anyone who is adopted and who doesn't know their family, just encourage them to think about it, to think about trying to reach out. It might not work, because this is an opportunity that a lot of people don't get. And so, I mean, it might not turn out the way that you want it to, but just the answers that you could find is something that I think is really beneficial. So.
Thank you so much. That was great. Kentrelle?
My only thing was, my only thing is, not everyone could be a celebrity love child. So, I mean, got to get that out your head first. And I think that was my thing, because I was really hoping I was like Beyonce and someone else's child, but it just didn't work out for me, but it's okay. I think that's all I have, honestly. All what Nolin said, just kind of like taking the good with the bad and understanding that and realizing that, all of it happens for a reason, and that, the bad was probably better than the good, because you probably needed the bad more than you needed the good. So
sometimes that's how we
go
grow,
through
right?
that to grow.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thaddeus.
This journey has been life-changing. From day 1 through day 10 and beyond, it was just, it was a bunch of tests after test after test after test, with your mental, with your faith, to be honest, with everything. And it's so amazing to see where you are going, that journey. And I'm so happy that I went on this journey, because I was this lonely, mentally lonely child. I was very depressed and felt very isolated, like with the whole abandonment. So to go on this journey and find out that was completely not true, it was such, we kept on saying this on the show, such a puzzle piece that was missing, and we finally found it. It was the last puzzle piece, and it was amazing. And then on top of all this, I did it with my best friend, my mom. It was it was great. Like, she was killing these challenges, and I was impressed. Like, I had such a fun time. After the show, my family and I, almost every day to like now, will always like catch up and catch up. Like, we only live 10 minutes away. There's no excuse. So it was amazing. So yeah, if anyone is curious, go out there. Curiosity is beautiful because you get those answers that you may need in life.
Exactly.
Good. Beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Leah, anything about this journey that you went on with Nolin change any of your ideas or thoughts about your own adopted child?
Not really, but I will say, like, to anybody that's thinking about going on the journey, like, I really like that they did portray a lot of the hard things about adoption on this season, because it's not beautiful, especially from the beginning. On one side, it's a lot of heartache.
Yes.
And, you know, I walked through that with my son's birth mom because it's always been open. And so I remember on day 3 when we were driving away from Nolan's brothers, it just like brought up all that, like leaving his like biological family was so hard. And so, but like, it's beautiful at this point because we've reconnected. So I think I would say, like, obviously a show's not the way for everybody to find a family, but one of the really cool things about the show is that we were able to digest little bits of information, and it took us on a journey for 10 days. We didn't know about the full brother till day 8, which I'm so thankful, because we were able to focus on little bits of information and really went not only on a driving journey, but on a emotional journey also.
Yes. And Karen, what would you what's your advice for an adoptive mom whose child wants to go on a journey like this?
I would say support them wholeheartedly. Because this is your child, and if your child has questions, you want them to get the answers. And I think for some adoptive parents, they're afraid that if their child finds their biological families, that they're going to, abandon them.
Right.
But that's not true. Support them no matter what, because they need those answers, and they're just going to gain more family. So just continue to love on them and continue to support them. And because I think if you don't, you make them choose. That's my thought.
Yes.
And you never want your child to choose because you're putting them in the middle. So just love on them, like I said, and support them in their journey.
Yes.
It means a lot. It means the world to them.
Sure. And as we've seen for everybody on this season and seasons before, you can see from day 1 to day 10 that peace that comes over you know, once you're learning the truths about your family, that just brings peace and a wholeness and a grounding. You can see it in everybody's faces, you know, through the struggles. You see that as people are getting their answers. And that to me is beautiful, to watch that and see that process happening. And so again, we are so grateful to have you all come and talk to us tonight. We want you, Kentrelle and everybody, to say hi to John, and we wish that he could have been here with us, and we hope all is going well with him. And we are so sad that we weren't able to hear from Team Black. We wish them well, and we hope that their family connections are still strong and growing, and they are still learning and connecting with even more families. So thank you, everybody, for coming. I can't believe the season is over. I know that we will see you again as we go into next different seasons, and we'll ask y'all to come back as our special guests and have you talk to us about what's going on with the new season. So don't be surprised if I reach out to you. And so we'd love to have you come back on. So with that, we would like to say goodnight. Thank you so much for a wonderful season. Thank you for sharing your stories, and we will see you next time on GenFriends. Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bye.